Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Average Joe's 3D. I'm your host Fergie. Well, it's April, and that means that it's Autism Awareness Month. That's right. I have a family that I'm very close to. They have a son that's autistic. So I wanted to do a special project just for him. So we're going to go over a couple of things that we printed out. One thing for him, one thing he can take to school. Let's get to it. So I was looking for something special to print. I really wanted something that represented autism, and normally that's 4 puzzle pieces of different colors interconnected to represent the puzzle of the world to try to put together. But as you can see, there really wasn't much. I had a couple pieces that weren't in colors, but I had this one that was kind of blank. So I clicked on it, waiting for it to come up. And that was actually the answer I was looking for, even though it's not coming up. What the freak? Finally, okay. So here it is. So it says Autism 2018 Hero. I like the autism part here, but I don't like the hero. I want it to say awareness. And I also wanted colored pieces like these, all the same height, that I could print out for him. So I went to my stuff. Hold on here. Why can't I get out of any of this kind of stuff? This is not the smoothest video ever. Alright, so I went to Simplify 3D. I download the pieces that I wanted. New, no. Import. Alright, so let's find the autism one. And there was a blue one, which is good, and green one, red, yellow, green 2, yellow, red, blue. Open. So they came up like this. And I don't need that right there, so we're going to deselect that. So I need another green. Let me pull in another green here. Over. There we go. So the first thing I wanted was the puzzle pieces. I was going to print out a whole bunch of them, but I want them to be the same size, and I don't want it to say autism. Well, if that's what you're looking for, let me make this a little bit bigger. I have a great solution. What you can do is, using the Shift key, you can then click on all the ones to turn them yellow, and you want to group them together. So we go to here, we go to group. So now they're all, what I do to one, I do to all of them. All right? Now what I'm going to do is flip them upside down by hitting Control L, and then clicking on the top of one, which flips it upside down. Now, the tops are all the same sizes because they used to be the bottom. So they're all level with each other, but the bottoms aren't. So what I'm going to do is click on them, click the Move tool, and I'm going to click on the blue arrow, and I'm going to pull it down until all the lettering is below the level of the build plate. Whatever's below the build plate will not get printed. So this is what's going to print for me, and none of the letters. So this is a good way of printing just part of something. Instead of stopping at a certain level, layer or height, you can instead just flip it upside down. Use the build plate for what you need. Let's see, give me a big old CR10. And then you can print it out. There you go. So just these will be printed out. That worked great. So I printed them out 4 times, each time in different colors. So he has 4 different color combinations that he can mix and match, which was great. Now the other part of the equation was changing the letters. If you remember correctly, these letters, part of them wanted to be changed I want that to say awareness. So what I did was I went to Tinkercad. Okay, let's see. Let me see. There you go, Tinkercad, official site. Didn't save it. Okay, so none of this is going the way I want it to here. This is crazy. Hold on here. There we go. So these are all my Tinkercad projects. And you can see here that I actually went ahead and changed one of them. So let's pull up this one and tinker it. So what I did with this, remember instead of saying nest, that said hero. So in Tinkercad, I picked a box that I'm going to use as a whole, right? And then I brought it over here. I pulled it up till it's level with this. And expanded this out. And so what I did was I erased the word nest. Let me pull that down a little bit. There we go. And I want that up a little bit. And we need it just a little bit wider. And then I group them all together. And now, instead of saying nest, it says nothing. It's completely blank. And then I can go into the text box. There you go. And I can write nest for awareness. And we just want to flip this over 90 degrees. Come on. And so once you've got the letters that you like and the font that you like, which is on that panel, you can then go ahead and move it in place. Move it a little bit more. Make that just a little bit smaller so it fits. You group it together, and now it says NAS, which you can then export as an STL and print it that way. So that's how you can change just about anything you want by importing the STL file, making the changes you want, and then exporting it as an STL file to print it out. So let's take a look at the results. I really like the results that we got. So what we learned today was if there's something you really have your mind set on and you don't find it in Thingiverse or My Mini Factory, you can actually go in using a simplified 3D or any of the free slicers, and you can change things around. You can flip them around, you can flip them sideways, you can move things below the build plate and get the results that you're looking for, or you can simply import it into Tinkercad, which I'm doing more and more, and change it to exactly what you want. So I'd like to end this episode with a little bit of information about autism, not from something I Googled, but from actually talking to the family. I have a 9-year-old son who's autistic. A lot of times you can see him sitting quietly in the corner, just about as far away from everybody as he can get. Most of the time he has headphones on to just mute the noise around him. And then although he seems calm on the outside, he's far from calm on the inside. Unlike you and I, he really doesn't have the natural ability to recognize and identify emotions in himself and in others. So that means that even his own emotions within him, when he's happy, when he's sad, when he's depressed, when he's anxious, he doesn't recognize those emotions. He still feels them, but he can't identify them. He can't put a name to them. He's not sure what he's feeling, which can be very frustrating. This is something actually that you and I take for granted. When someone's in the room and they're loud, they're talking loud, he doesn't know if they're happy. He doesn't know if they're angry with somebody. He's just not sure if somebody's crying. He's not sure if they're crying for a good reason or a bad reason. He just doesn't know what's going on with the people around him. And it makes him very frustrated. I reached out to the family that I know because I wanted to talk about their experiences. And they told me that he's not sure what actions or emotions mean, because they can mean a lot of different things. In fact, a lot of times he thinks that people's emotions are trying to trick or lie to him. As his frustration and anxiety rise, he says he feels like he's on a trampoline that bounces higher and higher and higher as his anxiety and anger rise with every single bounce, and he's not in control. He can't help how high his anger and frustration and anxiety get. He says that it's like one of those pick your own adventure books, that everybody's picked one adventure and they're traveling along and they're having fun, and he's in the same room and he's trying to pick a different path because the story that they're following, he can't follow along. So he feels left out even in a group of people. He says he enjoys his dog Tori because Tori never lies to him. For him, being with people is exhausting. He's working hard to interpret people's emotions constantly. It's only when he's alone that he can really relax and recharge his batteries. At school, he can struggle sometimes focusing, and when he can't focus, he starts to feel very negative about himself. His mother told me that he doesn't have the words or means to cope. She says that I hate that I can't make life easier for him. She says I can handle his anger. What really kills me is the absolute despair and the sadness that he feels. This month is Autism Awareness Month. I hope with this little bit of insight that you can understand just a little bit more what they and their families are going through. Thank you for sharing a very special episode of Average Shows 3D. God bless.